Today is the Town of Easton Board of Appeals meeting for Tuesday, June 8th. The first matter on is public hearing, special permit number 21-7. Applicant is seeking zoning relief from the minimum continuous lot requirement to construct a single-family home on the property located at 153 Chestnut Street. Applicant and his counsel are present and on the panel. Attorney Czekanowski, do you have a thought or expectation of how you would like to proceed?
I'd like, if it's okay, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to just have a moment to speak with my client so that he understands what it means having 4 voting members on the board.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And so I don't know, this is somewhat new to me as to how I'm going to step off and have that conversation. Normally I'd go outside in the hallway, but okay. I suppose you can take Mr. Ballone and I off of your call right now and allow us a chance to talk. Yes,
I can mute you if you'd prefer, or I can just take you off the panel altogether. Probably, I'll do both. How's that? So why don't we?
Yeah, you can push them into the meeting waiting room, right?
Yeah, well, theoretically, it can be done. Whether or not I can do it is a different matter. I'm apt to kick them out of the whole thing altogether. So let's see. If you guys just stop your videos, you're already muted. There you go. All right. So why don't we take a 5-minute recess while they confer Can
we call the next one?
What time is it? 6:40.
6:40.
Don't have a problem with that. No. All right. We'll recall public hearing special permit number 21-7, calling now the second matter on variance 21-9. Applicant is seeking zoning relief to construct an additional 1-bedroom dwelling unit for property located at 163 Washington Street. Attorney Shaughnessy, we do have 5. I do not have to recuse myself from your hearing. So
excellent, excellent.
You are good to go. And Tim, why don't you, if you can, read the notices, and we'll go from there.
All right. Easton Board of Appeals will hold a public hearing on Tuesday, June 8th, 2021 at 6:35 p.m. to be held remotely on petition Variance Paul Sires, trustee of Victoria Square Realty Trust for property located at 163 Washington Street, Easton, Mass. 02356. Assessors map 9U lot 73 for a variance pursuant to Easton Code Book Chapter 235, zoning 235-4, subsection 1, 235 attachment 2, Town of Easton Appendix B, dimensional and density regulations and minimum lot width as defined in 235-40, to allow an additional 1-bedroom residential unit with zoning relief for the minimum lot size, number of bedrooms, lot frontage, front yard setback, and minimum lot width for the front yard setback. This notice is also available at masspublicnotices.org. I'm going to read the comments. DPW, not applicable. Historical Commission, not applicable. Affordable housing, not applicable, but they did leave a comment. While not commenting on the details of the specific proposal, the Affordable Housing Trust generally supports increased housing options, including scattered site market rate rental units, which often occur at below premium prices, which can increase housing opportunities for households of varying sizes and income levels. Police Department, not applicable. Fire Department recommends. With the comment, no issues or concerns for the fire department, Captain DeZalio, I know I butchered that name. Planning Board recommends on May 24th, 2021, Planning and Zoning Board discussed the variance application of 163 Washington Street and voted unanimously to recommend the application. And that's all we have.
Right. Members of the zoning board sitting on this hearing, Ed Watson, Ryan Cook, Tim McCall, Steve Merlin, and myself, Mike Spillane. Attorney O'Shaughnessy, the floor is yours.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, and all the members of the Zoning Board of Appeals. Thank you for having us here tonight. Hopefully next time we're in person. I'm here on behalf of Mr. Paul Sires, the trustee of the Victoria Square Realty Trust. Paul is the owner of the building located at 163 Washington Street. The lot is about 40, a hair over an acre in size, and is improved by an existing building. On the first floor, you have businesses. On the second floor, you have 2 residential apartments. You have an existing 2-bedroom unit above unit 5. You have an existing 1-bedroom unit above unit 3. And Mr. Sires has owned the building since 1999. 1991. He's been a long-time businessman, and with the events of the last year, he has reconsidered the use of the space above his business, which is Unit 1. He's the proprietor of the salon underneath, and he is seeking to add a 3rd residential unit. It's a 1-bedroom unit above his shop in Unit 1. The issue for us is, if you look at Easton's definitions, particularly for dwellings, it defines a multifamily dwelling as a building containing 3 or more dwelling units constructed on a single lot. And in parentheses, it makes reference to apartment house. If you go to the dimensional table, at the bottom of the table, you'll see some requirements for apartments, one of which is lot size of 60,000 square feet, lot frontage of 250 feet, front yard setback 75 feet, minimum lot width at front yard setback at 250 feet, and it limits the number of bedrooms to 3. As you get above that 60,000 square feet, it allows you to add bedrooms. But as you can see, if the board has looked at the plan, we don't have 60,000 square feet. We have 45,000 square feet. So we're before you today seeking relief from several sections of the bylaw. The first section is just to step back a bit. If you go to note 6 in the dimensional table, it states that apartments are governed by section 23540 of the Easton Town Code. In the Easton Town Code, it says the maximum number of bedrooms for a 60,000 square foot lot of 3. Right now we're at 3. We're asking for some we're asking for relief from that one particular issue. So it would bring the total number of bedrooms to 4 on the lot, on a 45,000 square foot lot. Mr. Sires has checked with the Board of Health. There is sufficient septic capacity to do that. So that shouldn't be an issue. When Mr. Sires sought the building permit for unit 3, he ended up losing one of the chairs, I believe, in his salon. So I imagine that's going to be the same analysis that has to be done by the Board of Health. And since this is technically an apartment building, a multifamily dwelling, if you go to the dimensional table, it requires a 60,000 square foot lot. We don't have that. We have 45,000 square feet. It says lot frontage 250 feet. We have 174. The front yard setback 75 is required. We're at 36. And again, the number of bedrooms, 3 is the limitation. We're asking for 4. So as this board knows, there's a bunch of required findings that the board needs to make when considering a variance request. The first one is whether there are circumstances related to soil condition, shape, topography, or such structures, and especially affecting such structure, but not generally affecting the zoning district for which it's located. Well, our hardship is our structure. Our structure is an existing business structure with some current residential use. We have no ability to gain additional frontage. We have no ability to gain additional area. On either side, there's an existing business, and behind the property is a subdivision. And when I looked at the subdivision, they have maximized the amount of lot area they needed. So there's even no way we could strike a deal with any adjoining landowner to try to get some more. Again, there's our existing multifamily dwellings on Washington Street with less than the required 60,000. So it's consistent with the use in the area. The second consideration is whether a literal enforcement of the provisions of the zoning ordinance or bylaw would involve substantial hardship, financial or otherwise. Yes, it would. Again, given the events of the last year, he's thought about his business. He's thought about the space, the storage space. The storage space is not a good use. Moving his business up there really isn't practical, given that there's already 2 existing units in the building. We think it's a good use, and denying him would cause him a hardship. The third standard is whether the desirable relief may be granted without substantial detriment to the public good and without nullifying or substantially derogating from the intent of the purpose of the ordinance or bylaw. This is consistent with the intent of the bylaw. You already have residential use there. I think mixed use is favored in the town of Easton. It's a good use. There's already residential use along Washington Street. So it's consistent with what's allowed. The only detriment is we need the variance to get the third residential apartment. I'd be happy to answer any questions. That's in a nutshell. It's an existing building. It's a good looking building. If you look at the photos I've supplied, Mr. Sires does a great job maintaining it. This proposed unit will have its own separate entrance. The parking is more than sufficient for all 3 units. And to my knowledge, there hasn't been any issues with the existing uses as the residential apartments in the other 2 units. So we're requesting that the board grant us the variance relief, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Tim?
I don't have any questions.
Okay. Stephen?
Hi, Mike. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Okay, you're much grayer since the last time I saw you.
Yeah, well, getting a little late on top too. That's the scary part.
I didn't want to give you that part. So simple question. What was being stored up there, and how was he replacing that space?
Is Paul on? Is he in the room?
He's not, no.
Okay, I can't answer that. I don't know what he stores up there right now. I guess it's boxes. I don't know, Steve, to be honest with you. He's operating his business underneath. The third unit was, I think it was storage. Unit 3 was storage for the unit below, and we converted that to the apartment. I just don't think he has any need for the excess storage.
Okay.
Good.
I'm fine, Mike. Thanks.
Okay. Ryan?
Yeah, Michael, quick question as far as findings. So at this point, the applicant has owned the property for 22 years. So what I'm trying to understand is a little enforcement of the provision causing a hardship. What's the hardship? He's had the property for 22 years.
Well, I mean, you guys think about it. I mean, he has a space above there that's not currently being used. He's really maximized the space as this salon underneath. It really doesn't make any sense to move his business to the second floor to expand his business. So right now he's sitting with a space used for storage, and right now the better use is an apartment, and it's consistent with the other units that are being used there. They're all second floor units. If I didn't make that clear, but that's his hardship. If he doesn't get it, it's dead space, and it doesn't serve any purpose.
Okay.
You okay? Ryan? You froze there for a second. You all set? Okay. Ed, any questions?
No questions.
Okay. I do not have any questions either. Is there anything you want to add, Mike, before we
No, it's
entertain a motion? or
no, it's
entertain a
pretty
motion
simple,
here?
guys.
Okay. Last chance for
Members
anybody
of
who
the public
wants to ask any questions. There's nobody from the public here, for whatever that's worth, so. I will ask if anybody from the public wants to jump in, but there's nobody on the hearing at the moment, so.
Move we close the meeting then.
Okay, motion by Mr. Merlin to close the
Second.
meeting, seconded by Mr. Cook. All those in favor? Tim,
Aye.
Stephen,
Yes,
Ryan,
Yes, sir.
all right, Ed,
Yes.
and I'll vote to close as well. Anybody want to make a motion on the application?
move we approve.
I make,
Say that again, Ryan?
did I make a motion to approve?
Okay, so I heard Stephen first, so we'll say it's Stephen's motion, seconded by Mr. Cook. All those in favor, Tim,
Yes.
Stephen,
Yes,
Ryan,
Yes.
and Ed, and I vote to approve. Ed, sorry,
It's all right. It's a yes.
and I vote to approve as well. So
Right, guys.
we are all set with that, Mike. You are all set.
Thank you, guys. Have a great
All
night.
right. Have a
You
good
too.
night.
Take it easy.
I know.
We will recall public hearing, special permit number 21-7 for special permit at 153 Chestnut Street. Attorney Checkanowski, you had an opportunity to speak with your client.
I did. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I did speak with Mr. Balone. In light of the fact that the board hearing and then voting on the application would be a 4-member board, in light of the chairman's recusal, he's declining to go forward at this time until such time as the board is a full 5-member board. So I believe, I'll defer to you, Mr. Chairman, but I believe the hearing is opened and continued, or you need to open it and continue it as opposed to not opening it?
It was open, so we will
Okay.
continue it.
Perfect.
Okay. Suzanne, we can add, no notice has gone out yet on the 29th, correct?
Let me think. The notice went out for the 29th, but it wasn't posted. No agenda was posted, so we can add it to the 29th.
Okay. So we can, is that good for you, Attorney Checkanowski?
I'll be fine, Mr. Chairman.
June 29th.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right. It'd probably be, we could say 6:40 or something like that.
Did
Do it
we
first.
post anything for 6:30 on the comprehensive permit?
Well, we sent out the public hearing notice with the time of 6:30.
Okay, all right. So we do have a
they have to
comprehensive
go-
permit opening that night, Greg, just so you know.
Understood.
Okay. Might be a little longer than normal, but
We'll be here.
okay. Sounds good.
move we
All those in
continue to
favor of-
6/29.
Okay. Stephen made a motion to continue this hearing until June 29th. Seconded by
Seconded.
Mr. Cook. All those in favor, Ed,
Yes.
go ahead. Ryan,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes,
Tim,
Yes.
and I will vote to continue as well, although I will not be on the hearing. So thank you, Attorney Checkanowski. Sorry
Thank you.
for the delay, and
Not a problem at all. Appreciate your time tonight, gentlemen.
All right.
Have a great night.
you too. Take care. All right, so we just have the meeting minutes from, what's the date? May,
4th.
4.
what was it, May 4th? Yes.
I believe.
Yes.
No, was it?
Yes. Yes, May 4th.
Yeah, May 4th. Okay. Somebody want to make a motion to approve the minutes?
Motion to approve the minutes from May 4th.
By Mr.
Second.
McCall, seconded by Mr. Merlin. All those in favor, Tim,
Aye, yes.
Ryan? We'll come back to Ryan. Ed,
Yes.
Steve?
It's
Yes.
nice to not be the guy with the technical issues.
You know, it's always
work.
somebody, right? There's everybody's.
There he
always
is.
got one.
I can hear him now.
I see Ryan's thumbs up and I heard
I
it.
got the
And I'll
thumbs
vote,
up.
I'll vote to approve the minutes as well. Is I think that's it then, right? Just a motion to adjourn
is
at this
it.
point, Suzanne?
Yeah,
That's all I
yes.
see.
Okay. Anyone?
Motion to adjourn.
By everyone. I will say-
Seconded.
Hi, everyone.
Motion by
I need
Mr.
a
Merlin,
name.
seconded by Mr. Cook. All those in favor, Steve,
Yes.
Ed,
Yes.
Ryan,
Yes.
Tim,
Yes.
and I vote to adjourn as well. Thanks, guys. Have a good night. We will
All right,
see
you
you
too.
Sorry for all the
in
technical
3 weeks.
All right.
Thank
Okay.
you.
See you
All
then.
right.
Take care, guys.
Good night,
Take
guys.
care,
Good
guys.
night.
Thank you for joining.
Bye now.
Thank you.